Hello, how are you today? Today I want to talk about a few things. The first thing before we get to the meat of the program is I'm going to start doing videos daily. I did it for a couple of years, and over the past couple of years, as I've talked to you, it was a really challenging time, really pre-COVID. You know, COVID kind of played into it a little bit, but it was more pre-COVID that I ran into some challenges and really had to do some deep thinking, which kind of led me to my second point, which is visualization. Visualization isn't a lot of times what people think it is. It comes in different ways. It's like when you're being called, when you're trying to figure stuff out and you hear people talk about, well, I was called to do this. I had to do it. Visualization and being called sometimes can be one and the same. And I want to give you a great example while it's still fresh in my mind. I was reading a book yesterday. Well, okay, go back to over the weekend. I was trying to figure something out, and I was like, you know, universe, if you could really help out, this would be great. And the name W. Clement Stone popped right into my head. Now, W. Clement Stone wrote a book back, I think, in the 1920s or 30s called Success Systems That Never Fail. And he sold insurance back when you would just go knock on people's doors to sell life insurance and accident insurance. You know, back when, you know, insurance was just evolving. So I thought, well, wow, that's random. So I dug through my books, and I'll be talking later about I got to have a book giveaway because I have so many books, I got to just let them go. So I dug through my books, and I found this book, Success System That Never Fails, and I started reading it, and I was like, I get why I'm supposed to read this, because I'm a systems person to a point, not too many details. I don't do a lot of details, but I like to have kind of a system. And that was what it was telling me, is to have a system. So I was called to read the book. But how I was called, it was a verbal calling. It was just something that popped into my head. So when something pops into your head that's random, you know, like W. Clement Stone's a random thing, you have to stop and ask why. And if you need to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil because you're in a meeting or you're with friends, just write down, this popped into my head. Because that's how the universe talks to us. Your subconscious is your connection between here and the spiritual powers, whoever you believe, whether you believe in God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, higher powers, it doesn't matter, whoever you believe to me, your subconscious is your conduit. And that's how your subconscious talks to you. So yesterday I was reading a different book, and it was talking about manifesting. And this lady was talking about how she can never manifest. Doesn't matter what she does, she can't manifest. And I was thinking that's interesting because some people are master manifestors. My husband can manifest anything. Other people are challenged with manifesting. So I was kind of thinking about it. And I was just sitting out back thinking about it. And I was, you know, walking around picking up after the dogs. And all of a sudden in my head, I got this visual of where my life will be in three or 4 years. It was as pure as could be. I was on stage, I had a best-selling book, and I mean, it probably lasted for a snap, but to me it lasted for a long time. And I just stepped into it and sat with it and thought, wow. And then the next voice that popped into my head was, you can choose that or you can choose this. The choice is yours. And it was a wow. When you get hits like that, pay attention. Listen to them. I think so many of us are trained to just say, oh, I don't know. I probably heard it in a movie or read it in a book, or, you know, it's probably the neighbor talking. When you get something that strong, pay attention. That is how your subconscious mind is trying to communicate with you. And we'll talk more about the subconscious mind. This is more about visualization, and I don't want to go too long because I find my videos sometimes go too long. I know how long I can watch a video for. So when you're trying to manifest something, whether you write it down, journaling every day helps immensely. Doing your gratitudes every day, do your gratitudes twice a day, morning and night. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not grateful for anything, you're grateful for breathing. You're grateful for being alive. I just heard sirens outside my office door. I'm grateful that I'm okay and I'm safe. You know, we had a shooting here about 2 weeks ago, so I'm grateful that I was in my office when it happened and I wasn't walking through the parking lot. There's all kinds of things to be grateful for. And that's how you become a good manifester. Visualize what you want. And I know it's hard sometimes. I know it's hard to admit that you want that. And I know another tip, I was just listening to a podcast, and they're talking about jealousy. That jealousy is really a form of envy. And I know people have trouble with envy. Jealousy is really a form of something you want. And so you're jealous. So it's not that you're jealous thinking, well, why do they have it? You're jealous because your body, your system, your subconscious is telling you, you could have that. That's why you're jealous, because they went after it and you didn't. So do your manifestations. Visualize what you want. Before I go to bed every night, I visualize. I visualize what I want in the next couple of years. I see it like a roadmap. You know, when I switch to confidence and start talking about confidence, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what people do. Let's just dumb it down. You know, let's get away from shadows and all that stuff. Let's dumb it down. You want confidence. And the way you do confidence is figure out what's stopping you from confidence. When I saw that, it was like a road opened. It was like a roadmap unfolded. And I don't know how many of you remember roadmaps, but a roadmap just unfolded and I saw it all. When you're in the right place to receive, you'll receive. If you say, well, I'm not really receiving, I don't get anything, then you need to figure out where you're blocking yourself. Why aren't you trusting the downloads you're getting? So I hope this helped you guys. I've got to say, if you're on YouTube, give me a subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, hit me with a like. If you guys have any questions, DM me. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of women in my audience are hard-charging women, and they don't like to air out their dirty laundry in front of people. So feel free to DM me if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let me know what you think. How do you get your spiritual downloads? Thanks a lot. Have a great day, y'all.